What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So it's been 2 weeks. Probably have a lot to catch up on. So Fridays are everything else episode. So just put it out there. So we talk about movies, books, games, life, mostly not in cyber related, right? If you want to listen to that, Monday we talk about Windows Defender and how there were some issues that had to be patched out. Tuesday we discussed Google and their they had to pay Apple 15 grand for bug bounty. So that's always good to see because I'm pro Apple, as we all know. And then Wednesday, we talk about DEF CON and just the benefits, the pros, the cons, the wall of sheep that they have when they hack you out there. So 30,000 people descend on the conference. It's like the mecca for hackers. So definitely check that one out. We discussed the all the good stuff that surrounds the conference and not so good stuff. So, and then again, Thursday, check us out on the Ask a CISSP. I have Sam Brown on. We talk about his company, what he does when it comes to mentorship and building curriculum and just helping people find employment and stay employed. So definitely check that one out. And then I think I'll have one not next week, but the week after. So I recorded like behind the scenes. I record them on Mondays. So if it lines up the week, then good. If it doesn't, I just hold on to it. So it's always not always going to be a Thursday episode, but if I can always give you a Thursday episode, I do that as well, right? I like meeting people, talk about their initiatives, all that good stuff. But without further ado, I give it to Shannon. How's your previous 2 weeks been?
You know, it was good. First off, I should have said this before. It's glad to be back. Glad to be back doing the show, man. But it was phenomenal. So we went to Hawaii with the wife. We celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary. We celebrated.
Congratulations.
So early. Yeah, thank you. 25 years. There's no turning back now, I guess, right? or I lose it all. I don't know. But no, I don't plan on going anywhere. But went out to Hawaii, man. The island of Oahu, Turtle Bay Resort. It was phenomenal. So, like, we had people tell us, yeah, Turtle Bay Resort, it's nice, it's that and the third, but you always think to yourself, there's got to be a downside, right? Like, everybody can't say it's nice, and it'd be like, there was no downside. Like,
there you go.
It is like I guess the cost might be a downside, but like it was a great time. We really enjoyed ourselves. Left the children at home, makes it even more enjoyable.
Right. Wow. Like
as much
just
as
the adult vacation.
Look, as much as I love my children, like, and I missed them before we even got to Hawaii, to be honest with you. I was just like, man, maybe we should have brought them. I started to doubt myself. And then as I was enjoying my time there, I was like, yeah, I'm glad we left them home. Like, technology is to a point where, you know what I mean? We can still talk to them, we can see them through video chat and whatnot. But yeah, I went to Hawaii, man. Like, did some stuff I didn't think I would ever do, man. Kayaking to see sea turtles,
Okay.
Luau. Tried to do some night snorkeling, right? But I will give people this heads up, right? So I wasn't actually able to do that one because of my facial hair. So when you
couldn't get a seal.
Exactly.
Okay.
When you gotta make a seal, if you're gonna go snorkeling, right? Apparently they have different masks that are for people that have hair, but like for me, it just was a no-go. Within 5 seconds of putting my face under that water, it's filling up with seawater. I was like, that ain't how it's supposed to go. You know what I mean? So I couldn't participate in that one. But yeah, so shave yourself if you're gonna go snorkeling, people.
No snorkeling for me.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I said the same thing, Ryan. I said the same thing because I thought they were just gonna like take us out somewhere like deep where sharks be at. You know what I mean? And
right.
Get in. But no, this was so like at Turtle Bay Resort, like they have like these coves, right? Like these little small bays that you can go into. And it's, if I had to guess, because I didn't get out there and I don't know, it's maybe 10 to 15 feet deep. You know what I mean? But you saw all types of sea life. Like, my wife loved it. She enjoyed it. But you saw all types of sea life down there. They bought some of it up. They had like this little this board that was floating on the water, not a board, but like a little raft type thing that's floating on the water. They take the sea life up, put it up there, give you a little lesson about it, talk about it. Like, my wife really enjoyed it. So I'm glad she enjoyed it, even though I didn't get to enjoy that one. But like food, like I was just eating whatever I wanted, like
Oh
how I,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you put on a couple of LBs, you know what I mean? But no, it was a really fun time. We enjoyed ourselves. Um, like yeah, we loved it. But other than that, so like when I was there, I didn't really take in any. I didn't take in any like movies or games or anything like that. We were just enjoying the experience. But even without that, so we came back when I came back this week, got a little bit of TV watching, and I watched The Lincoln Lawyer, the TV show, The Lincoln.
Okay, you told me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they wrapped up the second season. It was pretty good. I like the second part better than the first part, believe it or not. But no, it was pretty good. The Lincoln Lawyer did a little bit of Horizon, Forbidden West. Still not 100%. Like I'm trying to do all these side missions. I'm to a point now though where I think I may have done all the side missions I need to do. And now it's just going to be like main mission stuff, you know.
Gotcha.
I might be done sooner rather than later because come October, I'm doing Spider-Man. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Got to be done before that. You know what I mean? So, um, but did a little bit of that. What else did I watch? So I don't know if you've ever seen the Untold series on Netflix, where they talk about different like sports things like that. And Johnny Manziel was the one they just had. So
So I saw the trailer and I was like, I actually want to check that out because
yeah,
it seemed pretty crazy.
so here's the thing. I expected a little bit more. There was not too much in there that I didn't already know. It was still a good watch, right? But I expected a little bit more, and I expected him to go a little bit more into like when he became a professional, how things went bad. But that they went over that kind of quick. Like it was
Mm,
more so about a little bit about him growing up, and then there's more so his college days, right? Because that's when he was really popular, right? Johnny Football became Johnny Football at Texas A&M. You know what I mean? So it was more time spent on that and then the pro stuff. And I understand he didn't have a long NFL career, right? It was only like a year and a half or 2.5 years, something like that. It was short lived, but I expected to see a little bit more on that. But it was still a good watch. Like if you're a sports fan and you paid attention and you know the story of Johnny Manziel, you may not
right.
learn too much, but it's still an interesting watch because I mean it's him on there, giving an interview saying, yeah, this is where I messed up. This is what I did. You know what I mean? So I like to see these documentaries where people take accountability for it. Like, so you see some of these where the people that are being accused or are infamous, right? They're not on there to defend themselves or give their sides of the story, right? Like that happens every so often. But he's on there like, nah, this is where I wasn't mature. This is where I messed it up, right? So that was kind of a good watch. Um, what did I start? I started watching Suits. Like I know it's an older show, right? But like, I keep seeing all these articles with like Meghan Markle and the royal family, this and the third. Like I see the headlines. I shouldn't say I see the articles. I see the
Right.
headlines and I'm like, yeah, she was on Suits. I remember that. So I started watching that show. I'm liking that. Um, like some of the stuff they do on there, I'm like, would never happen, right? This is why it's fiction. It would never happen. Like that's
Right. Right.
you know what I mean? But that's why you watch it, right? I guess that's why people watch reality TV too, right? Like they tell themselves, oh, that's what's happening in real life. No, that would never happen, right? Producers set all that up.
Mhm.
But watched a little bit of that. But other than that, man, when I got home, did a few chores around the house, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Hawaii, going to Hawaii though, that was like it's to the it's to the point we're thinking about going back next year.
There you go.
Yeah, to the same place, like because we didn't get to do everything we wanted to do, right? Like we did some things, but we didn't do everything we wanted to do. So, for us being there for 5 days, we did a good amount. But there's still more we wanted to see. Something I didn't get to do, and it was only because of distance, and it would take away from some of the things we wanted to do as a resort. I didn't get to go to Pearl Harbor. I wanted to see Pearl Harbor, and go through that whole experience, right? Having been in the military and knowing the history of it. I've actually read this book. It's called At Dawn We Slept. And this guy, he spent like 40 years getting information. Like he even had some stuff in this book. And it relates to the attack on Pearl Harbor. He has interviews in this book from people that were on the Japanese ships that were coming over and how they
Oh
were tested
wow.
before they got it. Yeah, it's very informative. Like we're talking like 800 pages, right? But
Okay.
it was still a good read. But At Dawn We Slept was the name of it. And so because I have read that book, I wanted to go to Pearl Harbor and see like the effects of them doing their
Right.
testing and how they did these things with the torpedoes and all these things that happened. You know what I mean? So I didn't get to do that. But again, like it was like an hour and some change away from the resort. So you got an hour and a change each way for the drive. Then you got the few hours being there to see everything, do the tours, all that good stuff. So um didn't get to do that, but the next time I go back, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to go back again, I probably am gonna make that trip. I'm almost certain I'm gonna make that trip. I'm gonna carve out the day. You know what I mean? So, uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it with me, man. Like it was a good time. I enjoyed it, but I'm back home now. You know, gotta go back to work and get these checks. You know what I mean? So
Right, right. So you can go back next year.
exactly. Right. So, what
No,
about you?
that's awesome. No, it's good that you got to unwind all that good stuff. Oh, I always forget. So please like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, hit a bell if there's a bell associated. I'm trying to get our numbers up on YouTube. I think we're at 219. I'm trying to get 500 before the end of the year of subscribers, as well as I'm going to start carving up some of the older material. I had a really good conversation with Jay Salters in the previous Ask a CISSP off camera. He was like, "You have so much content. Have you gone back to pull out those gems to make videos out of those?" I was like, I was always planning to, but now I'm like 400 and some episodes. I'm like, ugh. And but there's a lot of material, and I think if I just like sometimes like we carve the show down to 15 minutes for it to be easily digestible and all that good stuff. But we have some longer stuff that I could easily carve up a couple minutes of like here's a really good question I was asked, and here's the response I got from the person. So I'm thinking about making a playlist out of that. It'll be a slow burn project because I have to go back and listen to material from 3 years ago and see what is still applicable and all that good stuff. So be on the lookout for that. But I say all to say, if you would like to be a sponsor in the near future, we're looking for sponsorship. So if you have a product initiative, a service, you teach, you certify, you help out our community of people of color who are looking to either break into cyber, continue their journey, or they're at the peak of their game. They're the C-suite senior level position within cybersecurity. Hit me up. We can talk and see how that works out. Because I think we have plenty of content. We have a good amount of listeners and subscribers on the channel. So I think it'd be beneficial to both of us. So that I'm done with business now. So uh, no, I think it's awesome that you got to take that vacation time. I don't think like I know enough Americans don't do it. It's just statistically we don't do that, right? We get time off, we don't spend it on ourselves, relaxing, hanging out with family, quality time, all that good stuff, like other nations do. Like when I was in Sicily, they bounced for like 20 days. I think it was the month of August. So like everything shuts down except for like a few families stay to continue to provide services to those who did not go on sabbatical or vacation. But like I was in Mount Anastasia, called it Moda. So Moda, I would say 75 to 80% of the populace just bounce. They go elsewhere in Europe to vacation, and it's a ghost town. It goes from being like booming to like no one's there. My favorite pizza spot stayed open, luckily. Um, and that's good for you, right? That's why they outlive us. That's why they're more healthy. Like we work ourselves to death and say like, oh, Americans are lazy. I think that's just something we say to keep people from being less productive and take some time for themselves. We are not. Um, so that's awesome. I plan on taking a vacation as well. So like you just hit 25, we hit 20 this fall. So we're gonna take a family trip though. We're taking everybody. We're not getting like maybe next year we'll do a solo. But this year we're bringing the kids with us. So it'll be still peaceful, but it won't be as peaceful as your guys'. So that's awesome. So I've never been to Hawaii either. So I definitely got to ask you uh, how that was, where you went, all that good stuff. So for my own personal, maybe next year or the year after, we'll go there. But for us, we're going to Jamaica. So it'll be my first time in Jamaica. Um, and we're gonna do an all inclusive because I don't like the stress of having to think like, do I tip this person? Does that cost extra? Is that covering the plan? Just everything's just done except for excursions. You got to pay for those, but you pay for them beforehand. So it'd be my first time doing an all inclusive, and I'm pretty excited about it. So
I mean, to be honest with you, like when we were looking for all inclusive going to Hawaii. Like we were kind of the same thing, right? Like let's just go somewhere and pick out the food, eat it, get our
Yeah,
drink, do whatever. Like that is kind of the way to go. But we couldn't find it, or we couldn't find it to where it wasn't, like $10,000 a night or something like that. You know what I mean?
right.
That's just nah. You like
Well,
okay,
because you're still paying it because
today.
it's still the states. That's probably why it's so expensive
Yeah,
versus
yeah, that's
going
true.
to another country all inclusive.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, right? But no, man, Jamaica, I think you're gonna like it, man. Like I went there on a cruise one time, and it was nice. Now this is a long time ago, right? Like my experience will probably not be your experience because that was 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
Right, right. It's either beaches or sandals or one of those,
Yeah.
very you're behind a lot of security parameters as well as everything's already there for you, right? Like so you don't have to leave, but I will probably set up some excursions, what I mean, just to see a little bit more or whatever. But I'm cool with just chilling on resort, to be honest with you. I'm the same way when I go to Disney or Universal. Like I don't have to see, like I live in Florida. I'm good. I don't need to see what it looks like outside these gates.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something. If you're just gonna chill all day, right? Like, so do better than me because I ended up getting sunburned in Hawaii, right? Like, so like I got skin peeling and all
Oof.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only the second time in my life. It happened in Virginia Beach when we were staying
Okay.
in Virginia. So it happened to me in Virginia Beach, and then here, like I did put the sunscreen on, but it was not every day, right? So it was like I'll be fine, and then nope, get in that shower and you start tingling a little bit when it hits your skin. You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
oh,
That's
God,
always the misnomer, right? Like they're like, oh, black people don't get sunburn or whatever. We do get cancer, so
yeah, yeah.
sunscreen up. But I've had it, but the first time I was 19, the first time I got sunburned because Buffalo gets hot, but it's not hot hot. But it was Mississippi. I was out on the gazebo, right? Like where people take the smoke breaks or whatever. I was out there chilling all day. I get inside, I go take a shower, and I'm like, my shoulders are on fire. Like, what is happening? I call my fiance at the time, now my wife, right, 20 years later. And she was like, you have sunburn, fool. Like, did you put on sunscreen? I was like, no, I was just sitting outside. She was like, that's what sunburn feels like. Like,
The first time it happened to me, same thing. I did not know what it was. And that's crazy, right? Because like I was in my 30s. You know what I mean? And I was
right, right. Because we don't turn red. So it's
right.
like
Yeah, it was wild.
that's hilarious. So like people probably listening to it like baffled. They're like, what? I knew what sunburn was when I was a kid. Well, yeah, because you probably turn red or what I mean, like that whole lobster thing they talk about where you get to all you see is like circles around people's eyes. We don't necessarily get that. But we still burn people. So wear sunscreen, don't get cancer. But I do now though. Like we went to the beach yesterday. Because again, sunny Florida, right? So we went to the beach, hung out or whatever. And yeah, I sunscreened it up. Not gonna get me. Not this time. Um, but yeah, I'm super excited. I've never done an all inclusive. I've done like cruises are almost all inclusive, all by themselves, and then you might have some extras or what have you. But it'd be the first time I go to a place, and then everything's supposed to be covered. I still, did my Google. Like, is that it says all inclusive, but do I need to tip people? I said no. Said you can, but some of them can't accept tips, so they'll reject it. And others can, like if you get a service, like if you get like a massage or something like that, you can tip those people. But really, it's already been baked into the price, so you should not feel bad. We already got you. You don't know how much we got you for, but you paid. Don't worry. So okay, I like that. That makes me feel more comfortable. Um, so I'm super excited about that. But yeah, that's months from now. So, um, but just in general, like yeah, we got to take more time, got to take more breaks and things of that nature. And I'm guilty of it. Like, I'm probably gonna be doing work this weekend. I did some yesterday. I'm probably gonna do some more. So it is what it is. But yeah. So what have I been doing? So yesterday we started driver lessons with my daughter. She's had a permit for a while, but she hasn't had the confidence to get behind the wheel. So we're giving her that exposure because she definitely wants to. Like, it's her senior year, so she doesn't want to be senior on the bus. Is what she keeps saying. So school started yesterday or Thursday, so we got to get on it. You want to be driving before the middle of the school year. You need to get behind the wheel now. Start getting those reps. So we went out yesterday for about an hour, gave her some exposure. You know what I mean? Like we did a couple of loops around the block, and then I took her out to hit a couple of traffic lights and a couple stop signs. So she's getting her confidence up. Uh, I'm very stoic, so I think I'm the person for the job. Because someone who turns is wide. Uh, but she did a really good job. So I'm excited to do it again today. Right, we're gonna try to do it maybe a couple times during the week, but every weekend. Get behind the wheel. Let's go before traffic hits. Uh, so that's definitely a good experiment. And then Junior is right behind her, right? They're only 2 years apart. He's already looking at getting his permit. So I'm like, gotta get him his reps.
But you'll be well
Listen,
practiced by that point, right? Like, so you
right,
just did
right,
it.
exactly. But I think it's all good. Like I had some people help me out when I was learning how to drive, but I had to also I took driving lessons. But when I took them, driving school was like 350, and that was expensive. Driving school now is like 1,000. It's very close to $1,000.
Is it really?
Yeah, I was just like, man, listen, we gonna hit the road. We got a car, we got our driver's magnets. I got you. The only thing I don't have that they have is the extra brake
Yeah.
that the cars are built with a brake on the passenger side. I ain't got that, so I just gotta be proactive. Like, hey, need to slow down. Hey, we about to make this turn. Put on your signal. Check your mirrors. So we're getting it. Um, Aside from that, what did I watch? I watched My Adventures with Superman's a cartoon anime inspired HBO, or no, it's not HBO, it's Max now, just Max show. Actually pretty good. It's pretty wholesome. Like so it's not crazy, and it's more it's I like it, so it must be bad because I'm not a fan of Superman in the slightest respect. And this Superman is clumsy. He's learning his skills and abilities still. He's not infinitely powered, right? Like he has power outside of, just by being Superman. He's trying to learn or whatever, but he actually gets it from the ship, not from the sun. Or maybe it's a combination of both. I don't know yet. And he doesn't have all the knowledge yet. Like he's been back to the ship to try to talk to it to figure out what's going on. Like, why do I have these powers? Where am I from? But it speaks to him in Kryptonese, I guess, whatever you want to call it. So he doesn't know what it's saying, and it looks very disappointed that it can't interact with him like it wants to. So it shows some images. So I like that he's not overpowered Superman. This is Superman with training wheels. I'm enjoying that. Um, he tried to put
So,
on a pair of sneakers and he ripped them in half. I was like, that's about what I expect, right? Like, how's this dude interacting with people and not like breaking them as he interacts with them? So I like that he's figuring himself out. So
so is this kind of like a Batman year one for Superman type thing? Like,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
Like he's not already like he's been helping people, but it's been very sparingly. Like he just now got the suit, right? And hilarious. They do an homage to Sailor Moon. So like when the suit's not underneath his clothes, the ship beams it on him. So like yeah, like I really like it. It's a different take on Superman. So you probably hate it. So
Yeah.
it's perfect. What else have I been watching? We were going to watch the Transformer movie, the Beast Wars, whatever. It's on Peacock. I have not watched it yet. Kind of don't want to. I'm kind of over Transformers, but they say it's the best one. So I'm just like, I gotta watch it.
You said it's on Peacock for free?
Yeah, is it Peacock or is it Paramount? I think it's Peacock. Or no, it's Peacock Mario and Paramount is Transformers. One of them has it for free.
So it didn't this just come out in the theaters? Like, how disappointing was it then?
No, it said it did well. It did well. It got good reviews. It's just that these streaming services have to put something out there.
Ryan, I want to say that's only been out for like 30 days or something like that. Or maybe I just wasn't paying close enough attention to when it
I think it
released.
came out like earlier summer or midsummer. So I think it's been a good 3 months.
Okay. I just was not paying attention
Yeah,
then because
because the same thing with Mario. Mario made $1 billion. It's already streaming.
yeah.
They're like, we need something. Like
But, but,
we're
Mar- but Mario was April, right? Mario was in April. So I could see,
was it that long ago?
yeah, I think that was like the end of April, April 24th or something like that. Something like
Okay. But yeah, so far I saw all the reviews. Like people liked it.
Wow. Okay.
So, but after the first three, I'm just like, man. I watched the first three, and then like I watched a little bit of Dark Moon. I've never finished it, but it's Michael Bay. Like this building's toppling over, and there's people running around, practical effects and stuff exploding. Like it's cool. I get to it whenever I get to it. So it's not like before where I have to see the theaters. I have to hear the robots transforming. Like I know what the robot transforming sounds like now. Like if I heard one outside, I would be surprised. Like, oh, it's a transformer, obviously. Decepticon. It's my favorite line. What was the John Cena line? He was like, "They're called Decepticons." Like, no one think that they're evil. Like the obvious, right? But yeah, I have no concept of what's happening in Beast Wars. I know it happens in the '90s, so that's kind of baffling to me. Because all the other ones happen near real time. So this is like they're going back. Like, but did we know they were Transformers back then? I don't know.
So
So
wait a minute. So how is that possible then? So like if it's happening in the 90s, I'm pretty sure I saw Optimus Prime in this one, right?
mhm. And it's
Didn't
like his first interacting with a human. Like, is it like in the trailer? He's mad that they brought a human. He's like, "Is this a human?"
Yeah, but in the first one with Shia LaBeouf, like he was just coming to Earth. So how do they make that work?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Timelines mean nothing. Doctor Strange is changing for everyone.
I don't know. I'm sure they explain it. Like I'm sure. Like maybe I just don't know the lore. Like I thought I knew the lore or something. Like some. I don't know. It's probably figured out. Like my whole thing though is if these things were running through the streets and I think their enemy is like a robot big enough to eat a planet, so it has to be bigger than a planet. If we witnessed all this, like how did we not discuss it, right? But I say it, and then every day they have UFO pictures now in real life. So what do I know, right? Speaking of UFOs, like I don't want to do the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. I just want. What's your take? Are these UFOs? Are these propaganda? Like, what is happening right now? Like, are they just trying to expose us? Because in a couple of years they're gonna be like, yeah, aliens are real.
I am not of the belief we've been out here by ourselves all this time,
But
personally.
why us? This is a pretty backwards planet. I'm sorry. I'm speaking for the whole species right now. Why us?
I don't know. I don't know. It may not just be us, right? Like again, like we only know so much of the universe, right? We've only explored so much of the universe. Like we can't sit here and believe that we are the center of it, right? Like it took a while for us to realize we revolve around the sun, right? And it doesn't
Right, right.
us.
And I'm not saying that there isn't other life out there. Like, so I'm not saying like we're the all be all or whatever. I just there's so much space in space. It's like how did you manage to get from wherever you came from to us and then you crash? You're able to traverse all of space. Like again, most of it's empty. I get that. Like, so there's a lot of space in space, but you're able to travel at like whether it be at the speed of light or faster than the speed of light or you're jumping through wormholes. I don't know. However you got here, but you cannot navigate the sky. You know what I mean? Like,
Different environment, right? Like to you, it's the sky. It may be something different to them, right? Like they come from a different environment to where it's like this gravity is different from what we're used to, whether it be more or less, right? We don't know if they're out there. We don't know if they're out there like Goku training in 300 times gravity, right? Like,
maybe
right? Like so,
scared of
like,
it.
yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I, I
But these things are coming from the ocean, and we have not explored that. We probably know more about space than we know about our own ocean.
that is
So
true.
like the videos they're showing in the pictures, like these things are like popping out of the water and like doing 360s around ships and then going back in the water. So are they aliens at that point?
Well,
Wouldn't they just be terrestrial? They're not extra. You
you
know
bring
what
up,
I mean?
you bring up a good point. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, but I mean, they didn't originate there, right? Like,
or did they?
yeah, maybe they did. You're
I
right.
don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Could be the abyss, right? I don't know.
So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, at this point, the way that the media is rolling it out and the way the government's talking about it, I give it a couple years, and then like it'll be like aliens doing TikTok dances. You know what I mean? Like that's how quickly we assimilate, right, to stuff. Because we just went through a pandemic, a global recession or whatever you want to call it. Like it's been a decade of just really crazy stuff. I don't think aliens would tip a scale.
So do you remember the TV show Alien Nation?
Yes, I do.
They just incorporated into the human race with the human race, right? Like they just and there's going to be the same type of stuff, right? You're going to have the people that are just like, you don't belong here, this, that, and the third, blah blah blah.
Right, right. They're coming to take our jobs. Like, yo,
Yeah,
listen, they literally are able to build devices to get them here. I think they're very skilled in their labor. All right.
more so than you, right? Working in
Right, right. So we'll see what the future holds. I have no clue. I don't know what's going on. Like I was at first I was thinking it was propaganda. But it's too much stuff. They're revealing too much too quick. So I'm just like, well, there's got to be something there. But I don't know. Just like anything else, like we just came out of a whole pandemic, right? People like killing millions of people, and like we're just like we complain about rent right now. You know what I mean? Like humans adapt to crazy circumstances fairly quickly. So if they are real, I'm sure it'd be like a year or two, and then we'll be on to either fighting them or whatever.
Even though humans can adapt quickly, they don't accept easily. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it may be one of those things where it's like, yeah, we can adapt to it, but like when it first comes out, like it's legit, like we have the close encounters of the third kind type thing, or fourth kind, whatever it was, third kind. Um, like we won't be that accepting at first, right? Like we will have, like, even in all these governments, there's going to be somebody in a position of power that's like shoot them out of the sky or the sea. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So they'd say we already been like firing rounds at them. Like I would think if I was an alien, I'd be like, nah, play. We'll be out here firing back. So I don't know. Like the whole thing is baffling to me. But not to derail us into tinfoil hat land. But in a couple of years from now, this may be practical, right? We circle back to it, like, yep, aliens. It was a thing. We've learned how to teleport. You know what I mean? Like they gave us gifts, or we're running for our lives. One or the other.
Well, the premise in Men in Black, right? Remember they got all that technology, like, hey, this is how we got microwaves and this and that.
Right, right. That's how we got things. They got AI now. That's the thing. We're talking about AI pretty heavily. Like this might just be like uh speak and spell version of the AI, right? So you can't give us too much too quick. So we'll see what the future holds. But back to the things, like regular things. So I've been playing Breath of the Wild again. I put in 2 days of nothing. I don't really, I'm enjoying doing nothing. I'm literally every corner I turn, there's something there. Like
Breath of the Wild, or
Tears of the Kingdom. I'm sorry.
I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
thought Breath of the Wild was the old one. Okay,
Yeah,
Tears.
Breath of the Wild is the old one. Like so Breath of the Wild was mostly barren and empty. Like this one has a lot of stuff because it's the reconstruction, like after everything went south and that they're rebuilding or whatever. So there's something to do around every corner. Like I legitimately haven't played in a long time. So I was reacclimating myself. I went up top to the sky area or whatever, and I just found something shiny, went and chased it. And now I'm on a whole quest to do some stuff I never thought was in the game. Like it just doesn't stop. Like I've been playing for over 100 hours. And there's new mechanics I'm learning still. And there's one thing I cannot reach, and it's making me mad because I know it's probably I'm terrible with uh my spatial intelligence is trash. Like I will get lost in the parking lot. So this game having so much surface area, like having the three tiers, so to speak, so sky, ground, and underground, I cannot find this thing that's underground. And there's holes up top. And regardless of which one I go into, I always get twisted around. I cannot find this dot. I need to get to this dot so I can fight this guy. And I cannot get there. And I'm sure I'm doing it wrong. And it's making me mad. So I refuse to look up a video on it because I'm just like, I want to learn everything organically, right? As much as possible. Like every now and then I'll watch, like if I get frustrated at a puzzle, I'll be like, all right, I'm going to YouTube. Because you can just YouTube the name of the puzzle or shrine and they'll take you right there. And like, oh, okay, I'm dumb. I just had to do this one thing. But for the most part, I just try to just do it organically. Like I went and found an invisible shrine. I was like, what is going on? Is this a glitch? And it's like, no, you have to find this crystal, bring it to the shrine, and the shrine opens up. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So the puzzle wasn't inside the shrine, the puzzle was outside the shrine. And then I was able to fight a mid-level boss and then come back. I'm like, okay, like this is always something. Always something. Like this game is gonna take my attention until, like you said, Spider-Man. And I have to buy Madden. I don't know if we talked about this or not, but Josh Allen's on the cover. I think we'll buy the digital version. Just so because now Junior has an Xbox in his room, right? So we finally gave him autonomy, like, okay, you can take this upstairs. Got him TV for his birthday. Um, so in order for him to be able to play, because he's going to play it 9,000 times more than me, I'm going to probably play it, learn a little bit of mechanics, and give up. Because I haven't had a Madden since '07. So I'm terrible. But this one is cross-platform. So like you buy it on the PS5, I get on Xbox, we can play against each other. But ultimately, I want a physical copy because Josh Allen's on it. But I'm gonna wait till it's on sale, right? Where I can just walk into a store and then just grab like a copy I'm not gonna open. So that's what I'm going for. So I'm buying a digital copy now because it has more versatility. I can just jump on. Maybe they'll finally catch. Maybe I'll finally be a Madden guy. I doubt it. I just I like watching football. I don't understand the mechanics enough to enjoy the game, right? I could play it very simple, play it against the computer on average difficulty and have a good time. I probably will win. Sometimes I lose. Um, but when you play against a person and they're throwing all types of audibles and changing coverage and they're actually playing as the characters, like I just let the computer just default do your thing. I'm gonna go for the quarterback. You go do your own thing. Hopefully it works out. Like people who are like, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be the defensive back. Like I that's not me. So I'm hoping that there's some kind of tutorial or something. Like, is there like a Madden camp built into the game? And it's going to teach me how the intricate mechanics of football work.
So they do. It's very basic though, right? Like so, like you can go in there and they'll say this is how you do press coverage, this is how you switch between people, this is how you make shifts and do these different things, and you can practice it, right? Like there's a chance to do that, but depending on how much you want to put into it, doing that, it's like whatever, right? Like, and it doesn't change too much every year. From year to year, it's barely. They might add one thing to where it's like this is the mechanics now. And the last couple years, it's been a little weird for me. I don't know if it's just the copies I've been downloading or whatever, but like with you talking about rushing the quarterback, right? Like the last few years, I've noticed that if for whatever reason you take control and try to rush the quarterback, there's this thing where someone in coverage will just lose coverage all of a sudden. Like they just will not follow the coverage you're supposed to do, and you're not even controlling them. Like it seems like after a few seconds, the person in coverage does whatever you're trying to do when you're rushing. Like I've watched it on replays to where I'm like, what happened there? And I'm like,
Hmm.
they did the action of the player that I'm controlling that is not that complete. Like it, the last couple of years has done that, and I've been like, this is dumb. You know what I mean? So like, I want to say Madden is coming out. If it's not this week, it's next
It's
week.
the 17th.
Okay, so like that's yeah,
Yeah.
soon. Like I haven't watched any videos on it. Like, and I usually get Madden every year, and it's crazy because the one year I did not get it was when they had Lamar on the cover. So the same reason you want to get this one,
Right.
like the one that had Lamar on the cover, I did not get it that year because they had a trial on the it was I think it was PSN at the time, whatever the PlayStation thing is now, PS Plus or whatever. Um, I played it and it was a 7-day trial. You could download it for 7 days and you could play it. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Mhm.
I was like, I am not getting this year. And it sucked to say, right? Like I could have a copy with Lamar sitting over here, me being the
Right.
regular,
Right.
but I just did not get it. And that's the only time in a long time I didn't get Madden. But I will probably get it this year, right? But like knowing that Spider-Man is going to be right around the corner, I'm like, do I really want to do it though? Like, should I wait for it to go on sale? Because I know I'm not going to put in as much time when Spider-Man comes out, right?
Right. Right. But yeah, so like my oldest son, like so the junior, he enjoys it for a time, then he gets frustrated like everybody else. He's like, oh man, cheating. Like but he enjoys playing with me, but he beat the brakes off me last time we played. I'm just like, is this fun to you? Because I don't take it personally because I'm not good at it. Like he's
Right.
doing all types of audibles and changing and shift. I'm like, you really don't have to do all that, to be honest with you. You still win. Like I'm very rudimentary. I look to see what the plate does, and I may flip it, like to say, okay, I don't want the plate to go right, I want to go to the left. That's it. I'm done at that point. Like I
Oh man.
don't know.
Look, man, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Like I don't put nearly the amount of hours into it I used to when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like just because life happened, right? Like there are
Yeah.
things I do. I just don't have that time anymore. I have more children, more things that take away from it. But with me, yeah, like I don't put that type of time into it anymore. So like I'll get it because I get it. Like I haven't gotten, and it's kind of weird. Like football is my favorite sport, but basketball would probably be second, right? It's definitely second. But I haven't gotten NBA 2K in a few years
Oh
now.
yeah, 2K cheats. Like but he consistently buys it. And he just like they'll patch it to a point where he'd be like, I can't stand it. But
Yeah.
he spends currency on his player. Like the thing for me is my team is not good, so I'm a Knicks fan. Like they might be better this upcoming 2K season, but in years past, they're not great, right? Because they try to make it as realistic as possible. I don't want realism. Like the last time I enjoyed a basketball game was probably NBA Live when it was allowing me to shoot threes from. I was shooting from half court with Shaq because you just get good at the mechanics. I like a game to be a game. Like I know if I do the same thing repetitively, I will get good at it. So I was like literally killing people. I was like Steph Curry with Shaq. But that's because I understood the mechanics of a video game. I don't understand necessarily the stats of each player, right? So I know in real life that's not what Shaq's going to do, but I'm playing a game where I want Shaq to be able to do that. So like the same thing comes to the creative player experience. Like uh, Junior spends a lot of they call it VC, the currency in the game to make his player better. Like just there's cosmetics as well, but you can buy skill points, right? Or you can earn them by grinding really hard. I don't feel I should do that. How did my guy get to the league and he is unable to dribble well? He cannot shoot a free throw. He can't do a lot of things that you would have to be able to do to be in the NBA. I don't like those mechanics, right? Like I get you have to make money, charge me full price for the game then. Like so if you on average you're gonna make $100, like the purchase of the game plus somebody's gonna put in another 30 or $40 to make their player good, charge me that and just give me a full game. I would be fine with that because I'm not buying 10 to 12 games a year anymore. That's what Game Pass is for. Like I pay a subscription to get more access to more games or what have you. But if you're not in one of the subscription services, but you want to get the most bang for your buck, $70 is relatively close to 100. You know what I mean? Like so if I'm like gonna be dedicated to it, I will pay you full price to not have to be piecemealed to enjoy the experience because I'm just not gonna buy it. You just lost out on 70 when you could have just gotten 100.
I understand what you're saying, but I think they don't want to do that because of the sticker shock of 100, right? Like if you make it 3 digits long for what you're paying, people are going to balk at that. But when they're slowly putting in 5
Right. And
every
yeah, I
month,
get that psychology,
they
but
don't realize.
it's a turnoff for me. Like I'm
Yeah,
just like, I'm not going to buy you. Not going to happen because I'm not going to pay you for access and then pay you to enjoy the product. Right. I just want a one-stop shop. Like just make me pay you what it's going to cost me to be good off the rip.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't
But
disagree.
yeah, the psychology of it is like, oh, instead of 100, we might get 120 out of you. We might get, you know what I mean? Like they could just keep, which it may be what he's paying, right? Because we pay him an allowance and he buys currency at his leisure or what have you. So maybe they're getting him for a lot. So that's why they're comfortable with it. You're not gonna get me.
Well, you sure they're not getting you? Because probably your credit card in there that's set up, right?
He earned that though. That money's a sunken cost. He was
Okay.
getting it regardless. Whether he buy 2K or something else, I've already lost that money.
No. I'm saying for the VC, right? Like he has to pay that on Xbox, right?
No, he has his own, yeah, his own cards associated with it. Like he uses his allowance however he sees fit, as long as he's not buying vapes and, and hard liquor. I don't care. Like if you want to do your hard earned chores to go buy VC, I'm fine with that. But yeah, you're not getting that from me. Like that's why I consider sucking cost. So yeah, I guess indirectly they are getting it from me, but he could have bought something else with that money as well.
Well, you said it's his own card. Like if it's his own card on the account, that's
Yeah,
fine. Like for me, like anything that's set up here, like it's on my credit card. You know what I'm saying? So like if my
got
son
you.
wants to do something, and here's the thing, like I'm paying for the Xbox and all that. Like I don't have the Xbox out where I play, right? I play the PS5, so I'm paying it every month for my son to have
Yeah, Game Pass.
Game Pass. Yeah, so for me, I'm like, it's whatever, right? Like I don't mind the money. But if I do the math, I'd be like, man, he's got a job. Like, wait a minute, maybe you should be paying me for this, you know. But it's like it's whatever, right? Like he enjoys himself. He doesn't get in trouble. You know what I mean? He's not doing anything crazy. So like
Right.
I don't mind paying it. But you got yeah. None of my children had their own cards at RJ's age, man.
Yeah,
Like
so we're trying to get them to, because it's I don't like, I want them to have the autonomy, right? Like I like, okay, here's the said things that you need to do to get your allowance. If you beat them, good. If you don't meet them, you don't get paid that for whatever, which is not, so it is teaching them certain things, but they still have a roof over their head. They still have food. Like I'm not, it's not like real life, but it's trying to, it's training wheels, right? So yeah, we have it to the point where we just cash app or Zelle it to their account, and then they are able to spend it however necessary, in the attempt to teach them how bills work and things of that nature. But I'm still paying for the live. I'm still, like you said, I bought the Xbox, so it's not like when we were kids and you're taking cans to recycling to buy EGM. Was electronic gaming monthly is what I used to buy. My hard earned recycling money. But no, so like yeah, so he has someone at time. Same thing with my daughter. Like we just cash app or Zelle their allowance to them, and then they're able to, like, my daughter mostly is fashion, but she bought Taylor Swift tickets for regular price. So like there's a contest for real fans, right? Like you enter the contest, then you get to queue up to allow you to buy tickets before bots get to the tickets. So she secured decent seats for like 150. That's how much tickets really cost. So it's not like she's not like right up on Taylor Swift, but she gets to, she's like not nosebleed, but close to nosebleed. But it's for a concert for next year, so we got plenty of runway to get there and make sure she's safe and all that good stuff. But that's the first purchase she's made that hasn't been like clothes or like some kind of tchotchke for a room. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to see the evolution. And she didn't ask us for it. She just made it happen. So okay, okay. What else? I think that's pretty much it.
that
Like,
type of independence. I'm sorry, man. To go
mhm.
back to that, like that type of independence, like it's one of those things where it, it's what she needs to do, right? Like you need her to kind of go out on her own and do these things and learn what the world is. But like I know with my oldest, like I didn't want to do that, right? And she was a girl too, right? Like for us, I think it's for us as men, right? Like mama's boys and daddy's girls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I think for us, it's just one of those things where it's like, because you mentioned the safety thing, right? Like I still think about that now. Like my daughter lives on her own, you know, in the same city I live in, but I'm still like, you know, I worry about her. Like I don't want to reach out to her too often. So like my wife will be like, yeah, I talked to her today, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, everything's good. She's like, yeah, like because it's one of those things where. Like I hate to say this, but like I told my wife, I was like, when she moves out, like I don't want our children to boomerang. I don't want them to go out and come back, right? But I'm
mhm.
I know I'm lying to myself. You know what I mean? Like if she got into trouble or something happened, I'd be like, all right, well, come on home. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right,
get it. I get it, man. Like you don't want them out there doing that type of stuff, but like she's an adult. You know what I mean? Like my daughter's in her mid 20s. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I miss her, you know what I mean? And I want her safe all the time. But like, because even if when I hit my wife up, I'm like, have you heard? Have you heard from her? Because like sometimes I'll text her, she doesn't respond, and I'm like, maybe it's just what it is, right? Like she's doing her own thing, she's got her life, right? She's
right.
got work, she's got hobbies, she's got friends. I get it, and she'll respond and be like, hey, sorry, I thought I responded, or something along those lines. But you do want the safety, right? And like you said, it's next year, right? Like we talked about it offline. It's like a little over a year away, right?
Yeah,
But I mean, in that time, you know, you hope, you know, she learns some lessons to be safe and take care of herself. You know what I mean? Be a good driver, right? That's what you're doing right now.
right, right. That's primary right
Be
now.
a good driver, right? So
No, yeah, and we're doing the driver thing because midway through the year she'll start doing clinicals, so she'll have to have her own transportation to get to. It's like a CNA class, like so she's going in for nursing, but in high school they have like a CNA program that gives you college credit, so it cuts out some of your time and what have you. It makes you, it's CNA and it's another a nurse assistant license or something like that. Like she gets a lot of bang for her buck, but she has to be able to transfer herself to the facilities later on in the year. So we want to get her secured and ready and driving well and be able to transport herself, have that autonomy. Because mom works, dad works, so it would be hard to do that, right? So we give you all the tools in the world, but you have to have the initiative, which she now has. She's like, yeah, let's get behind the wheel and drive the weekend, all that good stuff. So I'm excited. But then again, it's the autonomy. It's like, oh, she's gonna be an adult, which is what you want. But yeah, like you said, it's like, oh man, she'll be doing her own thing. I don't like that. But trying to keep them home for college, like, hey, free room and board here as long as you don't wild out. So, yeah, be an adult, like go have friends, go do things. Like hopefully, you guys have vehicles and all that good stuff and drive safely and all that. But you can't, leave the like same rules as like you've been here, right? You got things you need to do around the house to contribute, and then you have to, maintain, a certain level of cleanliness and all that good stuff. Like because I'm paying the bills. So I don't want I don't want bugs. I don't want, you to damage the carpet. You know what I mean? Like certain things you have to do that you would have freedom to do on the outside, but then you'd be footing the bill for your room and board. So I think the parameters are okay. Like I'm not gonna not allow you to be an adult. Like, oh, you gotta be home a certain time, yada yada yada. Like yeah, like I don't want you in and out of my house, but if you're out, stay out. Like if you're in college, like I don't want you walking in my house at like 3, 4 a.m. Right. So, stuff like that. But we'll figure it out once we get there. I have a couple years. So thank God. I still have some more time to figure those things out. But no, like, it's good. Like it's a very well-rounded conversation. We talked about vacations and video games and TV shows, aliens, being a dad. This is a good one. So for all those who are tuning in, we do talk about cybersecurity stuff. So Monday, Tuesday are topics. Wednesday is discussion. Thursday, so if you listen to the previous Thursday one, we have Sam Brown on the show. He's talking about all the good things about securing employment, staying employed, retention, cover letters, resumes, like all the more universal things in job seeking that I believe apply very well to our career field as well. So definitely tune in for that one. I don't know if you hear the dog barking in the background. She's a mess this morning, but definitely continue to tune in. Check us out throughout the week. If you're looking to sponsor a program such as ours, definitely hit me up for all that good stuff. You can hit us up at the websites that go by our name, as well as you can hit me up personally. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe, stay secure.